One of them was when everybody's making a lot of noise, she'd say stifle. And the kids would laugh, and even today they'll talk about that. Or Thanksgiving dinner, or if anybody was around, she'd ask for the salt and pepper. And of course, the teenagers would go, oh my God, salt and pepper.
I have been a rover, I have walked alone, hiked 100 highways, never found a home. Still and all, I'm happy.
What I most remember about your mother and Jim, more than anything else, is way back in '67 when I first met them, how they were able to make me feel so comfortable and took all the stress off it. Really a scared 20-year-old kid. And that's what I think about them most.
Oh, her eyes were tender, oh, her arms were warm, and she could smile away the thunder, kiss away the rain. Even though she's gone away, you won't hear me complain. I have been a rover, I have walked alone, hiked 100 highways, never found a home. Still and all, I'm happy. The reason is, you see, once in a while along the way, love's been good to me. There was a girl in Portland before the winter chill.
From her childhood, I knew my mother's love for God. And even to her dying day, she would have me read the Lord's Prayer to her over and over and over. But from early childhood, we knew that God was important to her. And to the day she died, God was important to her. And another thing I want to remember is she called me honey girl. And I don't know, that she's the only person to ever call me honey girl. And I hope to someday see her in heaven and she'd come walking toward me and say, hi, honey girl.
If you wait for me, then I'll come for you.
She was one of the most affectionate people that I've known in my life, and there wasn't a time that I don't think she wasn't hugging somebody or touching somebody or in some way reaching out to people with affection. And she also loved that in turn, and I wish sometimes I had done it more, but she loved her hair combed and her back rubbed, and she just was a person that needed to reach out and touch. I always was sure of her love, and I always felt kind of protected by that love. Her love of music, and to this day, I don't think I could stand music not being in my life. As Mom, I remember at no time that Mom didn't have a radio playing with beautiful music or her playing the organ. And I think that's some memories that I have to link everybody together with, is her playing the organ and Aunt Diddy sometimes playing next to her or singing, and Nani being there, or all of us sitting around singing Christmas carols. Music just surrounded Mom, and faith through music. I think when I go to church, my favorite part of going to church is music, because of learning the hymns with Mom and with Aunt Diddy. Mom's love of traveling, I know, rubbed off on me, and I love it. And she used to get such a kick out of just little short trips and to little old quaint restaurants, and get such a kick out of it. Simple trips. Mom, like Aunt Diddy, taught me to love simple things, and I don't think I could ever be bored, because just a drive in the woods or going to old junk shop looking at old tin cans, I get a kick out of.
And I where I can feel the beating of your heart. Remembering your touch, your kiss, your warm embrace, I'll find my way.
Her secrets and surprises, everything always had to be just giggly and funny and silly and, oh, don't let them know, don't let them know. Oh, shh, shh. She was so silly. She just made it fun. She could make the worst thing giggly, no matter what it was. Our last big Christmas at that cabin, I made those things, and Grandma, she knew who I was. She didn't know my name anymore. She knew me. As much as that disease took away, she knew each of us that weekend. She knew everybody. And I remember the very last time Joey and I saw her, and I thought there was nothing left of Grandma. She grabbed me and she said, take me back up there with you. I gotta see those mountains. And she knew me. And I thank the Lord for that one moment that I got to see her know me again. And it was good.
Together again, it would feel so good to be in your arms.
Yeah, well, Macy and Lillian used to talk on the phone and imitate each other. Right? You wouldn't know who you were talking to. They sounded so much alike, you know. And of course, Macy was my favorite dance partner, because she could jitterbug, really cut a rug. And of course, Lillian was more of a straight dancer. And Macy also, of course, played the piano. And we used to sing, Art used to sing too. We sing quartets, 2 boys and 2 girls singing a quartet. We were, if I have to say so myself, we were pretty good.
I will be the answer at the end of the line. I will be there for you.
I loved Auntie Mamie. She was, she would make me feel whenever I needed to talk to her, or if I got upset and if I went to her, she'd make me feel as comfortable as if she was my mother, and I could snuggle in her arms and she could hold me, and it was just like being safe with Mom. One of the things I remember about Auntie Mamie, earliest memories, was she had very curly hair. And she would twist it in her fingers like this. And I do that today. So one of the things I got from her. But she also taught me how to suck my thumb. So she tells me. And she used to suck her thumb. And I hate to tell you how long we did that. One of the things I remember is she required very little sleep. It didn't seem to matter what time of the night you woke up, she'd be up. So if you ever had a bad dream or anything, it was always nice that Auntie Mamie was always up. She used to love TV, and one of the things that she used to admit watching and wasn't ashamed of one bit was Captain Kangaroo. That was one of her favorite programs. One of the fond memories of Auntie Mamie is at summer vacations at Juniper. She would often take us all to Juniper, and we would camp for weeks at a time. And she was like the mother to all of us. We always went to her for everything, and she stayed there the whole time with us and took care of us and let us do our thing at Juniper. One of the really wonderful things about Auntie Mamie was her capabilities of telling stories, such wonderful, detailed stories she would tell. And I remember telling jokes. It was a 2-minute joke for somebody else was 10 minutes for Auntie Mamie. But we loved it. She loved nicknames, too. I mean, she she would have a nickname for all of us if she could. I know that she named Johnny Johnny Boy and became Sugar Plum, but nothing I remember is her tweaking my nose. I never liked it, but she did it. She would take her fingers and tweak my nose. I never knew why she did that. Another one of the things that I always knew everything was okay when Auntie Mamie would say, "Let's have a cup of tea."
If it takes my whole life, I won't break, I won't bend. It'll all be worth it in the end. 'Cause I can...
Mama loved music. That's why probably I learned to love music too. She loved animals, and I love animals. She liked to travel, and I love traveling. She loved her family. Remember the trip we went on, Carolyn? And we was over near St. Petersburg, and we went on this road, and every time we turned around, we ended up driving almost into the Gulf of Mexico at night. It was 385 A, B, C, and D, and we got tired of that road.
has been unkind. Take me to
Remembrances of Aunt Maisie. Aunt Maisie told me once that she loved to dance. But you know, I never saw her dance a lot, but I know that she and Mom were both good dancers, and you'd see Aunt Maisie dancing a lot with Dad. And if I recall, I think they had a blind date together or something when they first met. And of course, what I remember too is that she was happiest when she was with Mom.
if it takes my whole life. I won't break, I won't bend. It'll all be worth it in the end. Cast me gently into morning, for the night has been unkind.
Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, and just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Uncle Jim loved fishing. Oh, he just loved fishing. He loved his family. And he loved funny gifts. I remember some of the silly ones he got. And he did not like driving in the mountains, I'll tell you that. But Aunt Judy loved it.
Through the pines, other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Georgia, Georgia.
Uncle Jim was partly Polish. He was about half Polish and half something else. And so we went to one of those Polish dances. Several times we went to Polish dances. Just to celebrate with Jim, his birthday. We went fishing with Lily on the side of the pond where we were fishing. That broke down and Mom went right into the water. The whole chair just folded up and went right into this pit. And she said to Jim, "You did that deliberately, Jim, I know you."
Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
I love Uncle Jim. He was like a second father to us, and he was a good man, and he worked hard for us. One of the things he loved was fishing. I mean, he taught all of us how to fish. He loved Italian food, and he introduced vinegar and oil. I mean, we never knew what vinegar and oil was. We had Thousand Island, which was Dad's favorite, and so vinegar and oil. One of the things he did when we used to laugh, he used to eat ice cream with a toothpick. And Mom used to tell us that he did that because when he was young, they were on like welfare today, and whenever he got ice cream, he would try and eat it as slow as he could because he knew it'd be a long time before he got it again, and so he ate ice cream with a toothpick. We thought that was very funny. He was a mechanic, and it was nothing for us to come home, and on the table would be a carburetor on a newspaper or a piece of some engine that he was fixing. And there's nothing for him to fix all of our cars, to get them all running. We felt safe with Uncle Jim around. He was also a plumber, and you know, if anything happened to our cars or our toilets, he was always there. But he was capable of fixing just about everything, and I always felt like when we were somewhere and Uncle Jim was there that everything was okay. He had a feel safe thing about him. He was a lot of fun to be with. He was had a lot of humor. He would dress up in crazy outfits, and when he played took movies, he was always doing something goofy. And at Christmas time, it was nothing to get some gift wrapped in newspaper or a toilet paper wrapped up or 6-pack of beer wrapped up for certain people like that. He also taught me to drive. He had the patience to teach me to drive all around the parking lot in a stick shift. And one of the things he did that seems to be a memory for just not me, but everybody, was the cross he put up in the pine tree in our front yard. I mean, you can see that cross from everywhere. Coming down the road, you see this cross, and you always knew that was our house. He was a pack rat. He kept everything. I mean, if you needed something that was made in 1945, he knew where that was. He picked up things from all over the place, and he had a garage full of them. And it was kind of a sad thing when they moved to Astor, because he couldn't bring it with him, and he had to sell it. And that was kind of traumatic for him because he loved to save stuff. He also loved birds, which is why he had the nickname Birds, and it was tattooed on his arm. Of course, we were fascinated with that. I guess he got that when he was in the Navy, but he liked birds. And when we were young, I remember him getting a little chickie. You know, we used to get them at Easter time. They don't do that anymore. And of course, this little chickie turned into be a rooster. And he was the only one that could go near that bird, and he taught it all kinds of tricks and everything. And we have a lot of movies of that, Uncle Jim and his birds. In his last days of his life, I think he held off dying for my mother. He loved her very much, and he took care of her right to her dying day.
Come away with me in the night. Come away with me, and I will write you a song. Come away with me on a bus. Come away where they can't tempt us with their lies. cloudy day.
Uncle Jim, everyone was his friend. I remember that more than anything else, that he never met a person he didn't like. And, you know, I'm sure people that knew him down in South Florida were very sad when they found out about his death. He loved to sing, and he'd sing in the car while he was driving, and, you know, always happy and carefree. He loved ice cream, and he hated pea soup. I do remember that for sure. But Jim Walker, quite a unique person. And I remember he told me once he lied about his age to join the Navy after World War II. And who knows what age he really was.
Come away with me in the night. Come away with me and I will write you a song. Come away with me on a bus. Come away where they can't tempt us with their lies.
I remember he always laughed. And I remember the two memories that I remember about him is I remember a cactus plant that he got. Either he got or he gave for a Christmas present one year. And the cactus was a part of the man's body, and I remember everybody laughing so hard about that. And I also remember the restaurant, the one that's right off the turnpike, and it has the spiders that drop down from the ceiling, and I remember we always had good times there. And his practical jokes. But I just remember he always laughed at life. He always had fun.
When all my hopes and dreams have been betrayed, I stand before you. My hands are empty. I am yours if you are.